It's super early. I've been up for quite a while. And so anyways, the curtains are still closed because it's so dark outside. It's been staying dark too for such a long time. But there is quite a few things I wanted to talk about. One of the things is that I keep seeing these people like uh, the dates. They're just like, oh, these dates come and go. Even my mom, she was like, oh, well, the Y2K. Like, she thinks it's going to be like that. Like, it's all just a bunch of hype and we're going to get up and it's all going to be fine. Everything's fine now. We're going back to normal. And it's like, even these people who are like, oh, I'm not paying any attention to these dates. Who cares about dates? Um, the I keep getting thrown off because every time I look at the screen, it looks so weird. Like I keep thinking, man, I don't even know what the hell I'm seeing. Everything looks weird. Maybe I am just morphing into some kind of weird thing. I don't know. But the people who sit there and say like, oh, ignore the dates, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to pay any attention to these dates. I'm not worried about it or whatever. It's just so strange. It's like, certainly they're talking about the dates. Certainly they're not talking about, yeah, there's nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. It doesn't matter how much stuff they hype up, how much stuff they try and, keep freaking us out with. Something is going to happen. I mean, it's all leading up to something. We can't keep going in the same direction. Things have to go the other direction. And it's going to be super dramatic. But I don't know, like, where these people are seeing that kind of stuff. It makes you always go to nature, micro, macro. When you go to nature and you see like a herd and they are, they've got to be paying attention. They got to be sharp. It is the weak ones. It's the ones that have something wrong. The ones who can't take care of themselves. They're the ones who go to the wayside. They get killed. They're somebody's dinner. So, it's especially while they're, this whole thing is so promoted about what we're really eating. It's so disgusting. And not only is it the coffee mate, you can go look this up. The the whole thing, I can't even think of what it's called, because also there's CES, you can look up. That's that expo that I said that they showed the sleeves at the Sony booth, which a booth, this is no booth, I'm telling you, it was the size of an auditorium, their booth. But the CES, that was that one. This other one, it seems like it's KED or something. I don't know, but it's going to definitely be something that's banned. You're not going to be allowed to talk about because it's just too much talk of it now. There's a couple of weird things being talked about because they've made a fake baby, a fake butt baby. It's called a butt baby. So men can stick it up their butts, these full-size babies, so they can experience pregnancy. It's so ludicrous. Like, it is ridiculous. When I was an ER nurse, you cannot put anything up your butt. Do not put anything up your butt. Like, I can't tell you how many people go getting dirty with somebody and it's always, oh, well, they just put it up there. I don't know. I couldn't get it out. Well, no, you can't get it out. It sucks it up in there. It's like a pressure kind of system or something. It sucks it up in there and you can't reach. The more you push up, the more it goes up higher and higher and higher. You can't just put things in there. You will get so sick, a blockage. Like, I don't even know. Like, are people going to buy these and then try and stick them up there? I mean, I have heard of some stuff, people sticking them up there. Like, there was a craze where, they did a whole thing and it was called fisting. Like, they couldn't get enough big stuff up there. We would do baseball bats and stuff, which would still be safer than sticking something up there that's going to go up there by itself. I mean, you'll have so many people going into the hospital having to have these butt babies removed out of there. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It just is like the stupid stuff that they push. Work easy or work smarter, not harder. Just lay on your couch, just get fatter. Don't worry about doing anything. stick things up your butt and eat bugs. And you can order stuff. You can order your all your supplies and then just eat those too, because you obviously can't tell between food and paper towels. It's like, what in the hell is, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I'm just like, oh. So, but the other thing, or now our flavoring, it's our flavoring of our food is, the fetal cell kidney, so we all know what that tastes like, apparently. And you know what really grosses me out too is because Stella got, when I was hanging around the farmer girl, which I haven't been. I think she started seeing, like, or maybe I just hurt her feelings, but you're just not in alignment with somebody. There's no point of hanging out. It's just awkward. So, but when we were, and she gave Stella some stuff, some of it was all organ stuff, because I was really trying to promote the organ meat, because your animals are supposed to eat a lot of organ meat. 75% of the diet is supposed to be meat. And it's like 65% of that, or 75% of that is supposed to be organ meat. Like, they're supposed to eat a lot of organ meat. So she gave me some because, they were little farms, so she would slaughter cows. Not a whole bunch. She's really small. Like, she'd have to go get her own. And so anyways, she gave me some of that. And I just remember the kidneys, because I would never know what I was about to open. The kidneys, you could totally tell. The smell of old, smelly, rotten urine. Oh my God, it was so disgusting. And it was absolutely disgusting. And oh my God, it was like the best smell. Stella would just, she got, oh my gosh, especially the kidneys. She got so excited. And so, as a something with the urea, or something that's in there that is something that is a good smell or a good flavor or something. They had to test this stuff on somebody, at the mall when they're here. Taste this. Which do you like better? They don't tell you what's in there, but it makes me kind of feel like, is that like a appealing smell to us or something? Like, with kidneys, and remember when I had said I was sure they're putting something on the food that's highly addictive, but we don't know what it is. And so in this thing, it says this is what it is. It's that. They put that on there. It's highly addictive. It doesn't have any flavor. We don't even know it's there, but it makes us keep going back for more. And what's so sickening, not only is it in my coffee mate, but it's in tea bags. And I'm pretty sure, for sure, Lipton, but it's just like, oh my God, damn. And then we wonder, like, why do we feel so shitty all the goddamn time? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I just can't even. And then how all this drama going down, while it's being, our lack of being able to grow our own food. Anybody who's got some food that they got to grow is lucky at this point, because everything is being destroyed. I just saw footage. It was a couple days ago. They showed a farm. It was a corn, and the guy who lived across the street said they're gonna stop the growing no matter what they do. And he was showing us a drone just going over to spraying this guy's farm. And now he just did footage. A couple days later, the whole thing's brown. It's all dead. And another one too, another guy shared footage, and he's one of those big machinist drivers. I can't think of what they're called, heavy machinery drivers or something. And a bunch of them got called out to the farms, and he was showing the farms, and he was showing the truck, he was showing the damage. He said all of the farmers were already paid for the crops. Now we're supposed to come in and destroy the crops. And this guy generally was like, I don't get what's going on. I don't understand what we're doing, why we're doing this. And but I thought, you keep hearing this, I'm telling you what's really happening. We're doing this. And so, these people keep showing, and then you got coming out and saying this whole thing about how many food companies use the cells of babies that somebody takes out prematurely, purposely. Man, this is pulling on my hair. I swear it took me like 75 times to even get my hair to stay up. Like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. That's even why I woke up. And Stella keeps crying like she's so uncomfortable. So, I don't know. I keep thinking it's got to be like the frequency or something. It's got to be, I don't know. It's got to be something. Yesterday, I was sitting here. And, it's tense being by yourself through this whole thing. But I'm sure, there's a reason. There's a reason that we go through everything we go through. So, you may not understand the reason at the time, but there's still a reason. And usually it's all about, how much you learn and grow from everything. So anyways, it's tense, and, I certainly don't want anything to happen to Stella while this is all going on. But, so I'm sitting here, by myself, and I had the door open because Stella keeps going in and out because she keeps being super uncomfortable. And I could hear all these explosions. And for, I don't know, like 5 days, 6 days, this fucking motherfucker across the street somewhere is just tearing up. I guess he's just tearing up the ground to build more houses or something. It's just tons of explosions and crashes. That's so fucking loud. It is so unnerving, just nonstop. And I just thought it's kind of weird that they would be doing that, because it sure does mask a lot of stuff. So people, you keep hearing all these explosions and someone's in their house, they're not going to go run to the door. Especially these people who are all oblivious, who aren't paying any attention. It's just like, oh, it's just these constant explosions. But, I'm different than that. So the door opened, and I've always got like this, I go into my dog hearing. What's that? I'll just sit here and listen. What's that? So I was doing that, and I was like, wait a minute, that's something. Wait, that's different. And plus, I'm telling you, you can feel it. You can feel when something's different. And so I went to the door, and I could hear all these explosions. And first it was real separate. And then I was like, okay, what is this? Like every 4 or 5 minutes, an explosion. So is somebody back there practicing? Like, you just don't know when you're like out in the rural. Is there some sort of extremist group out in the forest that are preparing? Are we actually being surrounded and they're trying to distract us or make us not pay any attention when the stuff really goes down or something? Like, it's weird. And so I was standing there listening, see what I could hear. It was just explosions. And then I heard some more, and then it sounded like it was gunshots. And so then I was like, okay, so it could be hunters. That's the thing, is like, you got these people over here doing this, you got the hunters, like all of this stuff with explosions going on right when we have all this stuff that's about to happen. And I saw a couple of people more with the prophetic, people are saying, now angels are coming into their room and speaking to them. People are being told that, I kind of even thought this last night. I thought, what if it is the religious people who, they're waiting for this rapture to be taken out of this situation because maybe they don't want to heal. Maybe they don't want to go into Age of Aquarius. Maybe they do just want to rapture. Maybe they do want to just go create heaven and go sit with God. And that's what a bunch of people are going to do. Maybe it is them that are creating their own exit altogether, and they're all going to go because they don't want to go through whatever to get to the Age of Aquarius. Because I don't think everybody is here to see the age of Aquarius. I think that, I mean, I think that there's going to be a lot of transitioning over the next couple years, probably, until they totally get people where they're going into med beds and working on themselves and healing themselves, because you have to be having yourself, you have to be in your mind with the healing yourself to have the quantum system work, from what I understand, so it's not like, if you don't take care of yourself, it's not going to do it for you. And so, anyways, it's just, I was thinking about that last night, like all of these people who are just very much about Jesus is coming, we're leaving and stuff. And I was like, maybe they really are. Maybe they are all just going to go. So I don't know. I think a lot of people who have given up, like the weak ones in the herd, a lot of them I think are going to go, or they'll have such a traumatic situation happen to push them into healing. That's what everything is going to go. People are going to transition, or something's going to be really, really hard and dramatic to push them into healing it. And, that's what this, to me, whatever is going to go down, like the lights coming on, I've talked about this since the very beginning, is that's the great awakening. That's the the lights come on. And because there's just so many people like that keep being so stuck, just like, when we're changing out of the Piscean age, and the Pisces was about Jesus, it was about good and bad and all of this, kind of like we're moving out of this era of needing a savior. We won't need to have this concept of somebody's going to come in and save us. So I was thinking maybe some of these people are going to transition out with that age. Like they came for that age. They wanted to experience a savior. And so they're going to transition out, that they don't want to be a part of the world when there isn't someone come to save you, when the whole concept is you got to save yourself. And, and that's why it's so vital, like where people are saying like they're not worried about the date. Well, you don't have to worry about dates, but I sure hope that you are being alert and, taking care of yourself. Like I filled up the tub. I went in and took a bath last night, shaved, washed my hair, did all of that stuff because I've seen people saying, well, the 24th, the chancellor or the prime minister, whoever this guy was, has said that it's going to be the 24th there before it is in America. Like, I don't know all the different, for each person, their time thing is different, but the 24th is going to be the 23rd for some people. And some people were saying, because there's such a threat right now with the nuke thing and the situation, like there's people on high alert watching that nonstop. And they're like, you could get up in the morning and it all be down. And so I was like, yeah, I should probably just make sure. So I filled up the tub. I filled up the little pool outside. I even filled up a pan in the sink to make sure that I had water, to rinse out cups and stuff like that. And in the tub, and take that out to flush the toilet, because especially if it's 2 weeks, take that out to flush the toilet, and you can take it out to, wash dishes or whatever. I mean, it's going to be like roughing it for sure. This is going to be, so kind of, I think it is kind of to show people how they prioritize. Like, what are you willing to give up? Like, you give up so much for convenience. You'll be a slave so you can have convenience. So I think it's going to be some like challenges for people like that, to kind of rough it and see like, man, this is kind of like better. I'd rather do this than to, go and be a slave. I think the whole way they have so many people entrapped in the slavery system is shelter, though. Everybody, wants to have a place to live. And it's very much like most people like especially before. Now there's still a lot, but the people who look down on homeless people, like, and the fear, like, oh, I could become homeless, I don't want to be homeless, oh my god, homeless, that's the worst thing that could ever happen. But then you go to other cultures and other countries, and there's people who just live out in the jungle and stuff and live free, and they don't have to worry about like somebody breaking in and taking their place, or coming in and taking their stuff and stuff. Like, they just live free. Like, we trap ourselves by some of the things that we think are so necessary. And it is the prison we build for ourselves ultimately, and it traps us into the system, so that we have to go out and, work for work. I have a couple things come into my head, like these little old sayings or something. But another thing though, that is this is just, it was really bothering me. So on TikTok right now, I'm sure it's on Twitter, I'm sure it's on everything. There is see if I'm spell it backwards, because I know this word's going to be banned. But if you Nari, so what would that be? Nari. So if you did that, going the other direction. So they're under such attack. The other day, 22-year-old girl, I guess, she didn't put her headdress on proper, and that's not allowed. And it's so crazy because of how free they were for this Islamic, and I'm sure you can't say these words together, the revolution. So when that happened and they all became slaves to this religious system, which is what, so many people here fear, that's how they use Christianity here. And then you have the Christians who go out and oblige them by bullying and being holier than thou. So it is, a lot of people fear that, and they are building on that too. Like that whole thing, what I was talking about, the Handmaid's Tale, and all of these American women who are going in solidarity and cutting all their hair off and stuff, because all of the women there who have gone into the streets and started taking them off their hair things and burning them, cutting their hair, to rebel, and people are being slaughtered in the streets. It's a complete chaos. Is gone beyond now that whole group of men going and beating that cop probably to death, because there's so much death and destruction. These girls keep saying that it is so horrible and so bad, and we need help. And, and I know on a spiritual level, this is for their collective to see. They don't need help. They have to come together. They are the creators, and they have to create the change that they want, that nobody can come in and save them, especially every single other country who's under such duress right now. And we're all under attacks in some way or another. And so whether it's through, like here where I'm at, the media manipulation, and I'm just surrounded by people who are oblivious to what is really happening. And there's so much stuff happening, and there's just the explosions and stuff. And the UN there, and but the people who are having the angels and stuff come into their rooms are saying that the waters. And so the thing you hear consistently is the waters in the skies, and maybe it is going to be. And I heard people saying, because yesterday I even went online when there was all these explosions, and I saw other people talking about it in the whole other states, and they were having weird things outside, like hums and strange sounds. And so a lot of people are noticing there's a lot of weird stuff and weird sounds. So, and people were in the comments saying, well, there's a battle in our skies. They're fighting in the skies. And so, is it going to all of a sudden, open up, and we're going to see the battle above us? And, I know the one side wants us to think that one side is trying to kill us. And so it's like the aliens need to expose the deep state as to who it is who's really trying to kill us. So I don't know, like, are they going to be up there fighting? I don't know. Are they going to be some nukes that are about to go off, and they're going to make some tsunamis? Like, I don't know. Something is going to go down, and it's going to be dramatic. And I don't think that's going way out there to say that, because it's happening everywhere. Jesus Christ, the whales have all swam up onto shore, the alligators, the sharks, the sunflowers turned away from the sun, the all of these animals, the from the water, predatory ones too, all of these great whites have come into the shore. The alligators all came up and are all facing the same direction. All of these wells that have beached themselves, like there's so much stuff going on. Birds are doing stuff, like there's so much. Like, I don't understand how anybody could think like this is just, oh, it's going to be nothing. No, the animals are showing us. Stella is nonstop, keeps telling me and telling me something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. She will not quit crying at me. And so I don't see how anybody could think like, nothing's going to happen like September 12th. No, what was that? The end of the Mayan calendar where it was all that build up, or the Y2K and all that build up. This isn't like that. This is like we have shit going down all around us, and it is each place just waiting. And when there is going to be a grand finale and it's going to be America, like I think that we need to be aware, like, and be prepared. Like I mean, that's kind of like an ego arrogant thing to be like, oh, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm not worried about that. It's like, well, you ought to be. Like, or for the stuff that's going on everywhere. Like, there's so many places that are in complete devastation. And anyways, I think there for sure is going to be more natural disasters. There's going to probably be some volcanoes and earthquakes. There's going to be some tsunamis, some hurricanes, some storms. Like, this stuff is just going to keep going and going and going. After, I think that there's going to still be storms even after arrests are made and people are taken down. There's going to be an aftermath. There's going to be, it all is like we really have to just kind of see how stuff plays out. But I definitely think that is being not smart to not be prepared. I think you gotta have a plan. Just have a plan of what you're gonna do, like what you're gonna eat. If there was no electricity, if there's no power, if you are, the thing where it gets crazy is like, are you even going to be able to stay in your house? So there's something going to happen to your house, you're going to have to go. And, since I'm close to the ocean and these angels coming into people's rooms are saying that something about the water and the waves and stuff. And then I know that they can easily take out like San Francisco. San Francisco is right on the water, same like with Seattle. But LA, I think that it would have to be like an earthquake or something that would be, I don't think a tsunami could have, it would hit the beach towns. So, I don't know. There's a lot of cities that are, expected to go. And you know what, these bug out bags, it's the same as with these fucking commercials. Yesterday I was so pissed. I keep seeing these commercials and seeing these commercials, but sometimes it just really, really piss you off. And when they keep having these commercials for all these new problems, these problems that just all of a sudden happened, right? But all of a sudden, well, we've already got the pill here ready for you. Like we're ahead of the game. Somehow, always ahead of the game. So not only do they already have the pill and it's gone through all the testing, it's there for you, but they've already got the commercial. Like they don't mess around. They get the pill, they get the commercial, they get it all out there, and they start promoting it. And the day after, I swear to God, they promote this shit before it even happens. And somebody made the point of like, how did they get so many bug out bags and have them so ready to hand out? Kind of like they've been making these bags a while, huh? Like they had them sitting there ready. Like all of the stuff they do, it's like they're 5 years ahead of us. They're doing this shit. We're reacting to stuff that they did years ago, and we're trying to keep up. And, that's, I can't even tell you when commercials, now with the all the cancer for the women and the reproductive problems, the non-stop commercials on the hormones. Oh my God, damn. And where they get these women sitting there talking about their hormones. The women look like they're like 40. It's like, and they're talking about menopause. Like, what are they doing to people's minds? So now they're going to have kids who are have no identity about their whole fucking gender. I saw another one yesterday. This one was really good. She said so many good things. Like one of the things, because she was 12 when she started being confused. And she started saying it to her parents, but she said it's so promoted in school too. And if you're slightly, tomboyish or whatever, and then you get all the people who support you and the school, and so the parents didn't know what to do. They just wanted to do what was right for the child, and all the pressure of course leads you in a direction. Then you go into the medical, and the medical just completely annihilates you and puts you under so much pressure. Well, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do. 15, 16 years old, they are going in and they're doing full mastectomies and hysterectomies on these cows, like jump right in. It's so crazy. When I was 26 years old, I had 2 kids, and I went in and asked for a tubal. They said, no, you're too young. You can't make that decision. But a child can be making decisions to have everything removed, and that's okay. And this girl, one of the points she made is like, these people who go around saying that they're so open and free and accept everybody, and everybody should be able to just express themselves the way they want, are the ones who are so defined on this gender. They're the ones who are like, nope, you got to pick. You've got to go full in. You will be a boy after this. And, take all your stuff off. And they're the ones pushing it. But see how they just flip things. They don't. And if you don't catch them, you're just being gaslighted all the time. If you're not thinking it through, if you're not using your common sense and your logic and catching them on this shit. And so they're sitting there saying, oh no, you have to pick, instead of just being like, oh, just be you. You're a little boyish, you're a little girlish, you decide. It's like, but then it's like, no, you are going to become this other thing because it's an agenda. There's so many doctors who are out there saying about the medical, that they've left Western medicine because it doesn't promote people to get healthy or take care of themselves. It promotes dependence and band-aids. And not only that, everything they give you turns your body off, so you become dependent on what they are doing. Same thing as them putting dead babies in our food is the same thing as what they do with the meds. They do it on purpose. They know what's going to happen. They know something inside of us becomes addicted to something out of that. And so then we have to go in and do that. Same with the medicines, how they make your body become dependent. So your body doesn't work for itself anymore, because they infiltrate and they disrupt the system. They remove the dominoes and replace them with their chemicals and artificial fillers and shit. So, the people are, there's just such a dependency on the medical, and it gets in their heads. It's not just their bodies. And there's all these doctors and nurses and nurse practitioners and PAs. Everybody is leaving the system and speaking out about it and saying, look, we are not allowed to heal you. We aren't allowed to do that. Administrators and stuff, it's not allowed. You'll lose your license if you go and try and heal somebody. That's not what the system is for. The system is to produce money for the pharmaceutical company, and they are just testing on us, and they're in competition with one another, which creates this whole espionage world that we live in. And as in movie after movie after movie, it's the corruption and the evil that goes on just about money, and how the people who want to get more money, how they will steal kids and get, yesterday I was just sitting there thinking like, man, there is literally girls, children, every used just to get blackmail on somebody. Can you, Like, just for that purpose. We're just gonna use you so we can get blackmail on them because we want to take them down. So we're gonna use you to do that. I don't know. Maybe some people don't find that disturbing. I find it so disturbing. What breaks my heart too is, I'm totally in solidarity with the women and the freedom and the bullshit and the control, this religious control that goes on in these countries, to break free from that. But one of the things that is just breaks my heart is seeing how many of them come on and they say, I know I'm not pretty. I know I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. I know I'm not pretty to look at. I know I'm not all of this stuff. And it's like, oh my God. And think about that. Like, I doubt you would even see how many white people you think you see in there. I think there's a lot of countries where there's mostly dark people. Why in the hell are these people being taught that they don't have value to people who aren't even in their place? I mean, it's one thing here when they can, divide us and keep us fighting with each other so that we don't come together because we're all on edge thinking, oh no, they think this, they think that, because it's all just this creation of this propaganda and indoctrination. So everybody's on guard thinking that somebody means something that they didn't even mean because they're taking it in the way they were taught to take it in. And so they create all this division over here. But then when they go to a place that's all dark people and they still have got them feeling like they're, I don't know. I just think that is the strangest thing. They're so good at making people not know their own value, to learn to love themselves, to just beat people down, especially over the color of their skin or the color of their eyes or the size of their body or their nationality, any of this stuff. It's all just completely superficial shit that doesn't matter. And they get people to act like that does matter. And it doesn't matter. I don't even know if I could say the word that they just inconsequential. That's the word that they put in my head. So anyways, I feel, it's shameful. And another thing too, I saw this was kind of cute. It's kind of this little gruff looking, like you'd think he's like some southern looking trucker, big old gruff looking guy, big old beard, his baseball cap on and stuff. And he's like, I just something about, what's the point of putting this Ariel as a black girl? I don't even understand this. And then the next part of the clip, or the next part of the video, is all of this footage is so cute. It's just made me cry. It's so cute because it's all, I don't know if a bunch of parents did this or something. A bunch of it was really moving, but a bunch of parents, if they, I don't know why this is so hard to say, get it out, that if they caught their kids blind reaction and they just put the movie on and the kid didn't know, for some of us, especially adults, we think, well, they've been talking about this for months. Like, doesn't everybody know? But obviously there was some kids who didn't know, and parents got some sort of blind reaction videos. Oh my God. You want to see something adorable? I watched that guy's videos so many times just to see that. It's so cute. Oh my God. It's just, I don't know. Them to just make people not know their own value. It's just so sad. On that guy's video, after he shows all these cute little girls, he gets so excited. And then he says, that was the point, or something like that. And I just hadn't seen it. It was just like, you know, really beautiful and so adorable. How excited they got to see Ariel, especially. Like, I don't know all of the different ones. I don't know which princesses are popular at which times or whatever, but oh my gosh, they were so excited to see one that had brown skin like them. Like, you know, I don't know. There's this whole system, the way they just beat people down. You got girls in Iran who are trying to speak their truth, who feel like they have to apologize for not having blonde hair and blue eyes and still want to be heard. You got girls, little girls, so excited because they finally put a princess out that looks like them. It's like, man. And I know that there's other ones. There was the Aladdin one. They made a big deal about that one. And I think that one is supposed to be like Saudi Arabian or something. I mean, they supposedly, you know, do this, but, you know, it seems like, you know, like who, I don't know, like it seems like some of the stuff that they bring up, I don't get it. Like what they're constantly trying to be like, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You know, it's just always feel like that they're pushing something, but you don't realize how much they're holding back, how much they don't let stuff come in. They don't let, you know, Black leaders be in the media in a certain way. Everything is so controlled. So I have no idea what she's barking at. But everything is so controlled. And so when we sit here and think like, you know, what is the big deal? Why they keep talking about this girl? She's got darker skin. Who cares? And it is, when you see how much it really does matter to some of these people, like they really do feel so marginalized in society. And it's, Stella, will you please stop? It is, it's just really super heartbreaking. And anyways, if you want a little lift up, go watch some of those videos of those little kids. They get so excited, and oh my gosh, little kids start crying. It's really cute. And so, anyways, you know, this stuff's just gonna keep going. I mean, I wish you know, I could just fly into some sort of superhero mode and run in and solve all the problems, but you can see the importance of people learning how to solve them for themselves, that they know they have to become their own heroes. And that is the beautiful thing. That's the phoenix out of the ashes. That's the flower blossoming out of the dirt. It's the creation of our own, you know. And so I know a lot of people just feel so lost and so beat down and so, you know, like it's so hopeless, and you know, I want people to come in and help and rescue them, but really it is about coming together and saving ourselves. And that's why it is so important for communities, as every community is hit, to go out and show support. I think it's beautiful what's going on over there. All these people, this one 22-year-old martyr coming out there. There's several now. There's even an 11-year-old they killed yesterday. So they're killing tons and tons of people on the streets right now. And it's a beautiful experience for these people to come out and fight with each other for freedom, for the common thing, not to sit there and think like, well, do you like red? Well, do you like blue? Well, I like, you know, the what they keep people divided off of. The people don't think about that. When tragedy strikes, they're out there just trying to save each other. You know, you see somebody in a car wreck and the car flips over, and all these men jump out of their cars and run to this car and start trying to flip it over and get the person out and stuff. They're not saying, well, who did you vote for? No, we're going the other way. And you know, it's very bizarre, this man running over that 18-year-old, which is obviously a martyr. It was obviously somebody to bring attention to something that was so outrageous. And the footage of seeing that guy, like he's so oblivious, like this guy is completely mentally ill. Like they're doing this on purpose with the frequency and the chemicals. They're making these people not think. They're just reactive. I mean, when you're sitting there after you just murdered a child And you're sitting there saying, well, I really need to get home. You know, I got to get to work tomorrow. If you guys could let me go. They fucking let him go. They fucking let him go. But everything is going to continue to be this absurdity and this outrageous and disgusting. But seeing the footage of him sitting there saying, well, I just got to get home. I did my duty today, pretty much. It was like, dude, you're disgusting. And this is where, the violence will come. There will be people. When they say this thing about you need to know which side you're on, if you don't have the awareness, if you're not on the majority, like if you think about Red Rover, which team is going to win? And so when you are going out and you're committing crimes, again, I mean, the gangs have shown that kind of mentality of, you're going to mess with one of ours? Well, we'll take you out. And I'm not saying there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to rush out and start wiping out liberals. I mean, there could be. Like, I think a lot of people who are more into the freedom have awareness of the manipulation going on and wouldn't do that. But there will be people who think like they can get away with some crimes, and it won't go down that way. They will be hunted down, I feel sure. Even that one guy, that guy named Cliff or whatever, he was on Rodriguez's show, and he was talking about when he was reading the energy or something off the computers, and he even said that there is going to be, I'm pretty sure it was him. I don't know. It was definitely someone, and they were saying that there is going to be a lot of people who are going to be attacking like doctors and I mean, there's going to be like human justice, like people are going to go after some of these people. And that's why it was said the whole time on that Q thing. That was one thing I said, or I heard all the time. They will not be able to walk the streets, and they won't. I really think there's going to be people who will be begging to be arrested. Please put me in someplace safe, because when people start seeing everything, it's gonna be chaotic. I think that this is gonna, just like in Allison Coe's things, where she kept talking about the different people who were going under hypnosis and talking about what was gonna happen. It was constantly, we're gonna, after this part goes down, that people are going to react in anger. People are going to go out and start burning down the cities. There's going to be fighting. There's going to be, it's going to be chaotic, I think, as people are trying to gain their equilibrium of understanding what's happening and how they've been fooled, and, and what a huge attack on people's egos. And so it's not going to go just like simple. Like, some things are going to switch, but a lot of people are going to not even realize, they're going to be so focused on something else. A guy who just lost his wife and kid is not going to be thinking about, oh, no, at least I don't have to pay my house. No, he's going to be thinking, who the fuck did this? And so there's going to be a lot of chaos, I think, for a while. And I think that has been said over and over. It won't be, I don't think it's going to be everybody at risk, but there's definitely going to be people at risk, especially people who committed crimes against people. I mean, it'll even go down to people who were part of the fraud that goes on in November. There'll be people after them. Well, if you wouldn't have let him in, like, people won't understand. Things had to play out the way they had to play out. We had to see it. We had to experience it to wake everybody up. And now we have to go through the part of people, this grand awakening, and people waking up and seeing and understanding. And, fear and fight or flight and all of it. People's, just like with their hormones, their all of their chemicals inside their bodies are all off. Like, everything has to get back to like a healthy ecosystem from the inside out. So, anyways, I'm just saying that even once this goes down, it is going to be rebuilding. It's going to be healing and moving us into this other age. It isn't going to be just like, oh, boom, and then, oh, yay, we're there, and everything's great. Like these people have got their reservations in and stuff. It's like, no, this is work. This is changing the world. We're changing the world into what we want, out of what we don't want. So, anyways, just be prepared, and really look around you and be aware. Like, yeah, dates have come and gone, but everything keeps building up. They're not going to just keep going. There will be stuff that is going to happen, and you just never know when it's going to happen in your area. So you just have to be ready, and just it is the great equalizer. People come out, and you're not going to be concerned about if somebody needs help. That's how we focus. We're going to be focused on helping one another, and then rebuilding. So anyways, just be ready, and everybody just needs to love everybody and unify, and know that we can get through this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. And a lot of people are going to be faced with some stuff that they don't think that they can overcome. And then when they do overcome it and they see their own abilities, and, you can't take that away from anybody. You can't run in and do it for somebody so they don't get to see their own successes. Everybody gets to see their own success and their own power. So anyways, it's going to be, some nail biters, but we'll get through this. So anyways, be strong. And, as long as I have internet, I will put stuff out there, and I'll just keep everybody in my prayers and hope everybody is doing okay. So everybody just stay strong, and I'll talk to you later.